very important concept in digital music production is that of MIDI. MIDI, MIDI, stands for Musical Instrument Digital Interface. It's been around since the 80s. And it's essentially the way that computers talk to instruments, synthesizers, samplers, things of that nature. Back in the day, for example, in the bottom left-hand corner, this is a Yamaha DX7. There were input and output MIDI ins and outs that would then be connected to a MIDI interface that was then connected to a computer. So the computer would send information through the MIDI interface to the instrument. Well, what kind of information is MIDI? It is not sounds. Okay? MIDI data makes no sound. It tells other devices, other instruments to make sound. So looking in Pro Tools, when we're looking at this drum beat, this is MIDI data. It's not the sound, it is the note or the data itself. So for example, if I duplicated this track and took out this instrument, it's grayed out because it doesn't have a voice, but the information is there. Let's listen to it for a second. All right. What kind of information? So these are short notes. It says to play, my grid is in 30 seconds, a 16th note of C, a 16th note of D, have it play this loud in terms of its velocity. So the types of information that MIDI sends, on-off information, what notes are going to play, when they're going to play, duration, how long those notes are going to hold, and velocity, how hard you hit those notes on the piano, which you can also control by drawing it in. There's more control parameters like the pitch wheel modulation and a whole bunch of other stuff. But looking at the chords here, this is simply saying play A1 and hold it for a whole measure. Place C3, hold it for a whole measure. E3, etc. And down here, velocity is how hard these notes are hit. So for example, if I highlighted all of these, of this chord, and lowered my velocity, it's going to sound quieter, but also softer. Not so much of the bell or the horn. And this is important as it relates to different types of sounds, like drums, because the softer you hit them, it just sounds different. All right, so MIDI contains no musical sound. It contains musical notes, when to play them, how long to play them, how hard to play them, things of that nature. All right.